Okay, this is Suzuki DR650, and we're going to do an upgrade to the forks. Anybody who has this bike knows that the forks are pretty much horrible. When you apply the brakes, the front end just dives very badly. You're going through corners and it dives, and it's not good. And there's a company called Full Force Racing out of Australia that makes valves that you could put into the forks underneath the fork springs, and they're called Plex valves, and I'm going to give those a try. The first thing we're going to do is loosen up the caps on the tops of the forks. Okay, so I got it on. It actually was pretty easy. Maybe this helped. I put a big socket on top, and I used it to try to give me some leverage to push it down there. And the other thing is make sure that the threads are really clean, because I tried to do it even without the spacer in there, and it was kind of gritty, and I went and looked and there was some crap in the threads, so I cleaned all that up. It went in a lot easier. So, but that's it. I'm going to reinstall it and do the other side, and we'll see how that works out. So I held off for a bit before I recorded this last bit because when I initially took out the bike after installing the Plex valves, it was about 30 miles an hour. 30 to 40, I was getting a weird wheel hop in the front. The front wheel would like very noticeably kind of hop up and down. And what it ended up being was not the valves at all. It ended up being my new front tire. It wasn't properly, it didn't seat all the way around. The bead didn't seat. There was a little piece of it that wasn't seated, and I let the air out and reseated it and took it out, and it worked fine. So all in all, the valves they're really good. They took care of the front end diving when you hit the brakes. It's so much better now. When you're going through bends, you're going around corners and stuff, it doesn't. Before the front end would dive, and it made you feel like very unsure, very not very confident. But now it took all that out. But it doesn't do that anymore. So it handles a lot better. It sits a little higher, I guess because the valves take up so much room that it pushes the forks, extends them a little bit. So beware of that, because I could pretty much tippy toe on the bike when I stopped. It was a little bit lower before. It was a little bit more comfortable. Now it's a little bit higher. So I guess I could always trim down those spacers at the top too. But all in all, I think it's worth it. It's a very good upgrade. I recommend it. Have any questions, leave comments down below. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.